It's Michael White.
And Anthea Mofetis.
Okay, guys, look, she's back, guys. I finally brought her back. Like, I know she's been away for a little bit and you had to hear a little bit of me, but now she's back and now we can have that flow of good energy again.
Yay! Sorry, I've been really unwell, like not very nice. So, back on it. Get my energy back up and running and ready for good conversations.
Exactly, guys. So today we're going to talk about why the word teachable offends people in modern dating. So, we're actually going to do something a little special for you guys today. We're actually going to share a small video with you guys that you guys are going to like. Me and Anthony are going to cover it. We think it's great. And again, fair use because, again, it is on YouTube. So, it's fair use for us to cover the video. So I'm going to play the video. Me and Anthony are going to talk about it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So again, we'll start the video and we're going to talk about what these guys are talking about. Again, fair use. It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Most important thing in a woman in 2021.
Are you going to tell me? Like, what's going on?
I thought you were going to give me a drum roll or something. The most important thing in a woman in 2021 is teachability.
Amen, brother, and amen, brother. You gotta be coachable.
And let me tell you why I came to that conclusion. After watching, this is Roommates Uncut, so I can say I was actually gonna say this for Patreon, but I'll give the freeloaders a sample. After watching Fresh and Fit and some of these other episodes and shows, I thought to myself, and I was like, if my girlfriend would go on that show 3 years ago, how would she appear?
That's a sensational question.
And me and her talked about it, and I said, honestly, you would have looked.
You recognize this man?
Sorry, guys, there's an ad.
That changed my life. Now I have something.
Okay, there we go.
Kind of crazy. Respectfully. I love you.
If you're running dropshipping,
more ads.
Yeah.
That's okay, guys.
Just few months.
Respectfully crazy.
And what I mean by that, it was like they would have asked you questions and asked you to elaborate on things that you just genuinely did not know. And you would have said just whatever was on your mind because you didn't really think of these things like in fullness. So you would have just said some like off the wall stuff. Like when I asked her initially when we were dating, like, okay, how much money does a man need to make for you to date? She's like, like $250,000. Like she's just throwing, like she doesn't know. Yeah, she's throwing stuff out there. And so that's when it dawned on me. I was like, a lot of it already made. And in today's world, the type of ready-madeness that you want in a woman just doesn't exist. Or it's a rarest of rares. Yeah. To get her fine, to get her fun, to get her fit, to get her healed, to get like, her loving, like to get all these things, to know exactly the way to talk and behave. To get all that in a woman, especially if you want her to be younger, it's almost impossible. So I realized that after being with me, she was so teachable.
Yeah.
And she grew astronomically. Not just through me, but just by just being around me and her being motivated, herself to want to grow. And that's when I realized like that the girl that I met initially, or the girl before, like a couple months before I met her, that's not the same woman I have today. And because she was teachable, there was things that you can work through if they're teachable. And so I realized that asking for ready-made women the way, no offense, some of these guys are asking for, it's just crazy talk. It's not 20-year-old girls are not like that.
Not at all.
But if she's teachable, she can be molded into that in time. And she can be molded into exactly what will fit your life.
Okay, guys. So why don't we talk about it? So I'm gonna give it to Anthea because you guys have heard enough of me all of last week. So Anthea, how do you feel about what he said in the video about a woman being teachable? You can use the word teachable, coachable, whatever you feel comfortable with. But how do you think? Why do you think that offends people? Because people get offended when they say the word coachable. I want a woman that's coachable. You're a woman. You could go on and take the floor.
Well, the thing is, I think to be coachable or teachable should be in life anyway. I think you should always be open to be able to learn something new. And if that's in a relationship, then it's even better. Because if you can learn and if you're, like they say, if you're the smartest person in the room, get out. You should always be in a room with people smarter than you so you can always learn. So I don't know why people get offended by it. I don't personally understand that concept of being offended, or getting to the point where they feel like, well, why should I be coachable? Why should I be teachable? I think we should all be like that, and not for the sake of just one thing, for the sake of your own life. Because I think that's how we grow in life. If we don't understand, if we can't see things through new lens, and we always see things through the same lens, and we're always seeing things through the same perspective all the time, then we're never going to actually be able to grow internally and externally, because you're just stuck on one level and you're not really implementing in a mindset of growth. You've got a mindset of like just one
Of stagnant. Yeah, you're just like stagnant. You're just like,
yeah, and it's not going nowhere. So for me personally, I think it's a good thing that anybody who's alive should be teachable and coachable at all times. I think you should be open to that, and especially in a relationship. So I mean, I don't know in his particular relationship how he's saying it and in what content he means, in what's changed in his woman, what's changed. I don't know what's changed in his woman.
I'll break it down. So what he's saying is that by his woman being with him, she's learned and grew a lot more exponentially, because he was saying previously, before he met his woman, when he was in the dating market, and I'll tell you this from a guy's perspective, and you can chime in, Anthea. A lot of women are not coachable. You'll date them, they're like, no, don't tell me what to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to be coachable. It's like you trying to pour water into a vase, and they're like, they put the lid on. They're like, you're not telling me what to do. Like,
because they're not with the right man, I don't think. I just think people just have this barrier up about them. And I don't know all women out there, but I can imagine, I know that I've done it before. And I know that the reason I've turned around and said, and I'm talking when I was younger, was very much because this wasn't right for me and I didn't have that respect. And I think we've spoken about this before, because when you have a respect for your man, you just naturally want to hear, you naturally want to listen, you naturally want to do things with him, for him, and together. And because everything he does is showing you a certain way, and he's taken a lead, and you want to be part of that. So you're following that lead, and you are learning, and I think automatically you become coachable, because you have this love and respect for this particular person. So you're open to hearing and listening and adhering as such. But when you are in with the wrong person, or that woman is the wrong person, like if she comes and says, I'm not doing that, who do you think you are? Like, I'm not listening to you. Then do you really want to have someone like that in your life, to be honest with you? I don't want No, I don't want friends like that. That's going to continuously ask me, who do you think you are? Or why are you trying to tell me? You know, if as a friend, if I'm advising someone or something, there should be a respect level. So we'll listen to each other. But if it's not a very good friend and they come back to me going, listen, I don't want to hear what you've got to say. I just think this, and I'm not listening, then they're not my friends. And I think it's the same in a love relationship. I think it sits in the same kind of category. Would you agree?
I agree. I think it's a two-way street for men as well, like for men and women. Like, especially if a woman is like, like in the sense of like, she might know some things that you might not. So she might be able to teach you something as well, too.
Mm,
And I think, in some cases, the reason why people are not coachable, and again, I'm going to bring this up, people hate to say it, is I'm going to say it's how they grew up. They grew up not being able to be coachable, teachable. So then it went on in their adult life, and then they're seeing the fruits of that labor. Because again, as you said, who doesn't want to be coachable and teachable? But even in the dating sphere, it's ruined a lot of dating because a person will try to teach you something and you're like, nope, not hearing it. And you're like, what? For me, if a person's not coachable, there's so many strings attached to it. They're not that interested in you.
yeah,
That's just
absolutely.
me. Because if they were really interested in you and they saw you as a person of value,
Hmm.
they would automatically want to be like, this man has something to teach me.
Hmm. And I think, like you said, it'll be the same vice versa. I think when you're with the person who works with you and is for you, you're with each other and you work for each other, as in, you're compatible together, you're going to have a level of respect between you and a deep level of love that you want to hear each other out. So if you say something to your woman, she would be more likely to listen. And if the woman said something to her man, he'll be more likely to listen, because you've got that respect going on. So why wouldn't you want to? You'd want to listen. I can't imagine not wanting to listen if I'm with the right person. Like, I know I've been with a person who was the right person for me at the time, and I know that I wanted to hear everything. And there was words that would be used and I didn't understand them, and I would want to learn what does that mean? Like, give me so I understand the wording behind it. And that was because I wanted to hear it, I wanted to learn, and I had respect and love. Um, yeah.
It's interesting that you're saying that though, because like there's a podcast I listen to, shout out Fresh and Fit. Um, they bring girls on every night, and the number one thing that a lot of the girls say is, I want a man to teach me stuff. But again, when we are looking at the market, a lot of times when we're dating people and we see that they're not coachable, for a lot of people, it's a big turnoff. And
Mm,
I think that's what a lot of people don't understand with that is when someone's not teachable and coachable, it turns a man off. He's like, oh, okay, you're setting the tone of what our relationship's going to look like for the next 5 to 10 years.
mm,
So I think for a lot of people, that is very scary because a lot of people don't look for that skill. Is she teachable? Is she coachable? If I tell her something, is she going to listen? If I advise her on something, is she going to listen? Or is she going to fight me tooth and nail? And that's where the combativeness comes in. You see what I'm saying? Because once a woman starts to become very combative, now you're getting turned off. Now you're like, I don't want to deal with this.
mm,
And I hate to say this, and again, women are gonna hate me when I say this, and Anthea, you might too. A lot of time, women are not that special, and I'm gonna say why. Because a guy could end up just finding another woman that is teachable.
mm,
Unfortunately, I hate to say that. A guy will just be like, well, a guy that's healthy. If you check out our free PDF, we cover what a healthy man, broken man, toxic man is. Um, And that's just how I feel, that if you're going to be that way, a man can replace you. He has just a healthy man that's well put together has just as much options as you do.
Mm.
So I did want to say that, guys, but just to pause the video for a second, guys, like the video, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. You know what I mean? That's very important to us to get it out there, to help grow our podcast. So please do that. You know what I mean? It helps us greatly, helps you guys. And then it allows us to create more content built around this type of stuff, so we can give you guys the content that you deserve. So with that being said, Anthea, does the word coachable trigger you at all when you hear that word in a relationship? Like, if you're like, oh, who's this man trying to coach me?
No, because I want to look up to my man. I mean, that's just me personally. It's something that I think a man's a man, man. Like, you just, when I think of a man, I think of a man. So, you know, it's different if you're, if let's say it's a guy that has nothing going for them and they just, as in, I don't know, say someone let's just say someone came up to me in the streets and they stopped me and said, oh, you're can I have your number? And I say, oh, what do you do? Oh, I don't do anything. Oh, do you work? No, I don't do that. I live, you know, I just live, I sleep on the sofa around my friend's house, or, you know, I don't want to, like, I want him to coach me. Like, I'm not going to be open to that. I'm going to be like, well, first of all, you're not taking my number. You've got nothing to offer me. Like, I'm going to close myself off to that. But if I meet a man, yeah, go on. You want to say something? Go on.
I love the two things that you said, and it just shows. And this is why I tell like a lot of men. You see, Anthea just said it in her sentence, and she's a woman that if the guy can't teach her anything, she's not interested. It's done off a rip. Like, if he doesn't have a purpose, if he doesn't have things going on, yo. So pretty much what you're saying is that, like, let's say you went out with a guy, right? Like, let's say in the beginning, you could look up to him, right? But
Yes,
let's say he started to fall off of that,
which I've had
and
before.
he started to not teach you things. You see, it just shows you that she'll start to lose attraction for you. If
Mm.
you're dating a woman, and let's say in the beginning, she's like, yo, I got the best prize, I got the best thing, like, yo, this guy's like the stuff, and you start to fall wayside, she's gonna start to lose attraction for you,
Because
because
there's
now she
nothing
feels
there.
like, oh, he can't teach me anything anymore. He's kind of like falling
And
off to the wayside.
And I think it comes back to that masculine and feminine energy, doesn't it? Because at the end of the day, if you're having to take over and you're having to put the time and energy and work into everything, then you're having to become the woman, then has to then present a masculine energy. And I don't want to do that. Like, I want to be feminine. I want to be looked after. I want my man to take me out. I want to be like led. I want to be you know, and I'm not saying I'm just going to be this little thing running along, going, no, and what do you want me to
No.
do next? It's not like, I'm not saying, you know, it's more to do with a respect and a love thing, of a level, a deep level of respect. So, like you were saying, you know, if a man can go out and find another woman, oh, absolutely. And I suppose it'd be the same for a woman. If you know, I think it always runs both ways. It's like there's two sides of the coin, and there's always
Yeah.
going to be one or the other. It's you know, if a man doesn't stick to what he meant to do, or he's
You're
not,
losing attraction for
yeah,
him.
yeah, because
100%.
you know, you have to have that level of honesty at all times. You know, you've
You
got to
have to
be
stay in your
vulnerable.
masculine frame. Like, that's what a lot of,
Yeah,
you have to stay in that frame, because how she got you, like how you guys started, is how she wants you to continue.
for
But once
sure.
you start falling off, like you start becoming lazy, You know, you stop doing what you were doing in the beginning to get her. Attraction starts dwindling. Boom, 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 boom.
Absolutely.
Then, so pretty
Absolutely.
much what happens is she stops becoming teachable each time. She stops when she sees that you've fallen off of your purpose. It literally just dwindles down. And I love that example that you said, like, well, he's not getting my number right away. It shows that women want men that have a purpose, because all it shows is she's not going to be number one in your life. My purpose is number one. You'll come in, obviously, like, let's say third or fourth, or maybe even fifth, because, you know, you have your spirituality, you have all these other things. But she's like, I got the best prize. So if you stop becoming that prize over time because you've fallen off of the wayside, she's going to lose attraction for you. It's just, it is what it is. It's a cruel thing to say, but it is what it is.
And especially if a woman's got a purpose in life and she knows she's on her own mission to do something in her world, in her life, then you wouldn't want to get with like, I personally wouldn't want to be with someone that doesn't have that purpose and is just there. Like, doesn't make sense to me, is that because he's never going to push me to go and follow my dreams. He's never going to be my support mechanism in any way, shape or form, because he doesn't know what that means, because he's not experiencing that. If you don't have that passion behind you and that purpose behind you, then how can you have that support for somebody else when you don't have it in you in the first place? And I think you've always got to lead by example, especially as a man. So if a woman's already got that stuff going on, and I think this probably is something we could speak about on another podcast, actually,
Sure.
like why successful men and successful women find it quite difficult to be in relationships.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, because for them it's completely different. For them it's again, I don't want to say too much if we do cover the topic, but for them it's very different. But
very
different. I will say this though, touching on what you touched on, that's why, guys, you always have to stay on your purpose, because that's the thing. That's what she fell in love with. That's what she wants to keep. When she starts to see you start to fall off the wayside, she's going to be like, I'm not getting the BBD anymore. I'm not getting the bigger, better deal. This is starting to, and she'll start to look elsewhere.
And it's about being, like you were saying, like the whole subject here is like teachable and coachable.
Yeah.
It's, you know, at the end of the day, if you're going to say you're going to do something, do it. Because if you don't do it, you can, all right, say it happened once. That's part of life, all right. But if you keep saying you're going to do something and you don't actually take the actions behind what you're saying you're going to do, then, I mean, even friends don't want to be around that. Never mind your girlfriend. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to say something that's probably going to rock your guy's world. You see, what she's saying, and what a lot of guys don't understand, is when you don't stay in that masculine frame, you're losing your girl slowly. That's exactly what happens. Because, for example, let's say, as Anthea said, right? You don't stick to your word. You're not a man of your word. Let's use that, right? If you're not a man of your word, it threatens the number one thing that she's looking for: security. So that's what I'm trying to say is, let's say, for example, we'll use a great version. Let's say you got the girl, right? You guys are in a relationship and she asks you to take out the trash, right? And you're like, yeah, I'll do it. A week's gone by, you still haven't taken out the trash. 2 weeks have gone by, you still haven't taken out the trash. 3 weeks have gone by and you haven't taken out the trash. And then she gets mad at you for that. She's not mad at you about the trash. She's mad at you at your ability to not commit to your commitments, because she's like, if he can't do this small task, what's going to happen if I ask him to do bigger tasks? Then the cognitive wheel starts spinning in her mind. And then now she starts to feel like her security and her feeling secure in the relationship is threatened. Now she's going to be like, did I really get the BBD? Did I really get the bigger, better deal? Now she starts to question if she got the best option. And that's the thing. You don't want your girl questioning that she got the best option. You don't want her doing that, because then she's going to start to lead astray. She might start to talk to other guys while you're in the relationship because you fell out of your masculine frame. You were not able to stay in the frame. And whatever commitments that she ever asked you to do, like take out the trash, like, yeah, it seems small, but look at the meaning behind it. She's like, if he can't do this small thing, how is he going to be able to do something bigger when I need it? And when I mean like bigger, for example, let's say take her to the hospital, let's say pick her up from the airport, anything bigger in the future. And then she starts putting all these scenarios in her head like, damn, will I be able to rely on him? Now it threatens her security. And now she's like, woo, 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 woo. Alarms start going off. Woo, 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 woo. Now she's like,
yeah, it's like, no, it's not going to work, because then it makes you feel insecure about going to the airport. And are they going to turn up? Are they going to turn up? Am I going to be standing there for like an hour waiting? Is he going to come up with 100 excuses? Oh, the traffic. Well, you know what it takes to get to the airport. So, but that's where it comes back to the coachability or teachability, that a woman will be like, well, I'm not. She would shut down on that, completely shut down, because why would you want to learn from somebody who can't even stick to their own word? You don't want to. It's the wrong person to learn from, because that's them taking on bad habits. So the only thing you're going to learn is habits that don't serve you or serve anybody. So you don't want to be part of that. So actually, it's like, unless somebody is bringing out the best in you, then what you're doing with them in the first place, because no matter what, a relationship should be you're bringing out the best in each other. And look, at the end of the day, a relationship is two people out of this whole planet getting together and walking on earth together as one, as such, because you're walking together and you're creating a world of your own together, and you're backing each other up in that world, and you're bouncing off of each other. So both of you will be coachable and teachable to one another, because that's what your relationship's about. It's about growth, complete growth, your passion, your purpose, your growth, your everything that's moving forward, learning, you're getting into that growth mindset, getting into that abundance mindset, being able to achieve the things you want to achieve. And maybe your man, as a woman, my man will back me up financially to start with. Let's say I'm doing business, or maybe it's he just says, well, listen, you just go and do, I don't know, maybe I've got hundreds, thousands in my account and I don't need any financial backup. However, I'm still accepting the financial backup because it's for business, and that's not what's in my accounts for personal.
We might be able to cover that in a video for sure.
So there's so many different things, but it comes back down to that compatibility between the two people. And if you're finding that all you're doing is arguing and shouting and no one's listening and nobody's seeing eye to eye about anything, then you're in the wrong relationship. And
I love that she said that, though, because you see how in the beginning she wants, like how Anthea said she wants a man to lead her, correct? It's like, let's say you're a pilot of a plane and she's the stewardess, right? And she's like, Captain, where are we going? He's like, I don't know. She's going to be like, why am I on this plane? Like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, you know what I mean? Because he has no direction. We'll just fly around in the sky and figure it out as we go along. She'll be like,
you got enough fuel for that?
Yeah, like, exactly. You got enough fuel for that? Like, Because while you're driving in the air doing nothing, she's like, I want to get off. 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 Her attraction is just dwindling for you each time.
Yeah, for
But that's
sure.
the thing. If as Anthea said, if you're a man who knows how to lead and the stewardess comes to you and says, "Hey, Cap, where are we going? We're going to Florida. We got to make 2 pit stops in the middle. It's going to be a long flight." She's like, "Okay, what else do you need me to do?" Like, she's
Yeah,
already like, she can already trust that there's
yeah.
a direction that she can get on board with.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
And then in that direction, she's willing to be coachable because she's like, okay, do we need to make sure that we got enough food? Do we need to make sure that we're taken care of? Is your pillow fluffed? She's like, cool, like this is a plan I can sign up for. But
Yeah,
she
for
ain't going to
sure.
sign up for, like, I have no idea where we're going. We'll just fly around in the air. She's going to be like, this man can't teach me nothing. He has no direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right off
And
rip, there's no frame. There is no masculine frame. We'll just float around.
and it's not about that. It's just not about that. It's about direction in life. And you know, I think even when it comes down to children, you teach them direction. You teach them to make decisions, to know who they are. And that's the same as adults. We must teach ourselves to get to know who we are and what we're about and where we're going and what we're doing. Because without that, kind of just float around in the sky and don't really know what's going on in life. And you're just like,
No. And then you end up
woo.
in a directionless relationship. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. So that's why, we wanted to cover the topic of teachability because we believe that it's so important for you to have that, especially for your woman to be teachable. But she's only going to be teachable if she respects you.
Mm-hmm.
If she doesn't respect you or see that you have masculine frame, she's number one, she ain't respecting you, and number two, she ain't gonna be teachable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it difficult. You have to know the type of woman that you're dealing with. You have to be able to suss out, is this woman teachable or not, because she might not be.
Mm-hmm.
So
Look, you get all different types of women and different types of men, right? And you get the women who just jump on board with a man because they can get what they want. And they're not really in love with that person. They just want to get what they want to get
yeah,
because
they're
it's
finessers. They finesse
yeah,
dudes.
yeah. And then you got the men who could be more or less the same way. I mean, like I said, there's always two sides. There's always both the female and the male can always kind of mirror each other in different ways because the
Well,
male will do things differently.
it's interesting that you're bringing that up. And again, we could share the study with you guys if you want. There's a study out there that shows that over 50% of women go on dates for free food. They have no interest in the dude, but they're going on the date to get fed.
Wow.
So literally, like, you have to be able to identify and see if she's a right woman, because with the things out here, think about it. You have a girl that will go on a date with a guy with, she has zero interest, but she wants free food. She's going out with him for a free foodie date. She getting fed.
And
So
then
you know
she's
what I
down.
mean? Like, yeah, she's
She's
getting
gonna
fed.
run.
Yeah, she's getting fed for free,
You know
man.
what? You're right. I've heard this, and it just came back to me a few years ago. I don't know who it was that said it to me, but I remember someone saying to me, "Oh, I just go out. I just go out and go and get free food, and then I'm just gone." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Well, look, at the end of the day, I like eating out in restaurants, and I don't want to pay, so I just go out and go and get fed, and then when I'm done, I leave." And I
Yeah,
thought, "Wow, like
yeah.
who's got time for that, Michael?"
And it's over 50%. So imagine if it's over 50%, a lot of the times these girls will go on dates with you,
Oh,
not
wow.
even for you. They have zero interest in you.
Interest. They just want a
But as
good
soon as
munch.
you said, like, yeah, I'll pay for dinner, just show up, she won't be like, yo, I'm getting a free foodie date tonight. Like he's taking me to Al's Steakhouse. I'm eating for free.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So, that's why we talk about, having high interest. So again, guys, thank you for participating. We're actually going to be going live on Instagram very shortly, right after this, to talk about the polls, our content, everything. So we're going to get some coffee in us. We're going to come back. We're going to jump on Instagram. We're going to talk to you guys on Instagram about a lot of the polls, because we're starting to get a little bit of traction on IG, and I think people also want to see us over there too. So we're going to hop over there very shortly.
Excellent.
We're going to see you guys real soon. And we're looking forward to this Friday's topic, which is Take Me As I Am and how it's ruined modern dating. So imagine that. We've all heard the phrase, take me as I am.
Take me as I am, baby. And don't forget to like, follow, share us. If you find anything of value that we speak about, please do share us. Please do like our videos. We really appreciate the support.
And we also do have a special request that if you guys ever want certain topics talked about, please DM us.
Yeah.
If there's something you want us to cover in dating, please DM us. And me and Anthea will discuss it. And if we see it's of value and when we get demand for it, we'll talk about it. So again, we're looking forward to it. We'll see you guys on IG real soon.
Take care, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.